Hey there, folks. Time once again to do a CSS battle from the past. These are what I lovingly refer to as retro daily challenges. So one is from September 26, 2024, and it's a weirdly a complicated one. I've done it now and got 100%, but only recently. In the past, I had a lot of difficulty and it was stuck. It was one of the ones stuck at 99.9%. Now I've done it at 100%, so I kind of know its tricks, but I used all backgrounds to do them. Today, I would like to do it with 3 elements, one of the two. So let's go right to it. We're gonna start with some little circles. We'll start with circles. So if I do an aspect ratio 1 and then a border radius, we're going to build from back to front, 50%. There's your circle. All right, and then I'm going to set a background of this blue on the body. So basically we need layers and layers of things. So let's do a first element, and we'll do a box shadow of 100 pixels 0, and let's make it smaller, 20, 30, 40, something like that. And then if we use margins, and I'm going to take the margins off the body and put it on the paragraph tag, because I know I'm going to be doing more than one. Let's move it down, 100, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200, maybe 195. Whoops, to 195, and then move over. 130, 131, 36, and then it's what, 80 pixels over, something like that. And because it's pure black, and it is indeed hash all zeros, I don't need to set a color on that. So that's part 1. What's part 2? Part 2 is, well, we need to cover it up. So we'll call that PB, and B for body. So B has a background of this orange and a height of 20, and then his margins are going to be, I'm going to set 4, and actually while we're at it, come to think of it, let's do this properly as well. So let's increase this margin so that we get real circles. Now we're seeing a lot of weirdness there. That's normal. We expect that. 1, 2. All right. Oh, now on this guy, I'm going to unset the border radius, or set it to 0, really, and then use also margins to move him into place. Minus 100, minus 6, 60, 2, 3, 4, and then give him a height of 30, 40, 45, 46, and then margins on the side, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82, and I guess I need to unset, so I need to unset a box shadow. Box shadow none. There we go. And now we need margins on the other side. Probably 82, but maybe 83, 84. So that's what that looks like. And then we need another one. That next element, C, he's got a taller height and also has margins to set him. Minus 200, 0, 0, 0. He also has a border radius of 0. So we're basically going to make one of these posts. And I don't even know what the shape is, right? It's sort of odd. Is it an alien? Is it some kind of foot? Is it a lamp? Is it a hanging lamp? I don't know. It scarcely matters. Let's do a background. And come to think of it, if we set this as a color, C as color, and then we do var C, then we can do this, dash dash C, and that works. And then here we can do dash dash C, and then do var, the shadow would be var dash dash C, right? Okay. Okay, we need more margins. So we've gone probably too far up. So 1, 8. All these are in relation. 78, 78, 77, 78, 79. 78 is correct. So the height is 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the width is way different. 100 and let's set, or 200 here, and then 100, 110, 20, 115, 16, 17, 10, 20, 30, 40. That's what we got now. And I guess this box shadow, let's make this a variable as well. Var S for the X of the location. So now I can do dash dash S and do 100 pixels. And if I increase this number, 120, that's not too bad. Okay, so what are we missing? Well, I've chosen to, let's do a border. Let's set this border radius to be, you know, like 100 pixels, 100 pixels, 0, 0. So that's not right, but it helps us a little bit. How about 42? No, that's worth. How about 35, 36, 37? There it is. So now you've got those stalks. So one idea that I didn't pursue was to do this as a clip path. Because I think we have what we need now. Well, we can variabilize the height bar. We'll do this busy work. I mean, it's good work. Dash dash H, and then dash dash H. And let's variabilize border radius as well. Var dash dash R or 50%. So now we do dash dash R here, and there. Interestingly, I got an interesting idea there. Can we reuse this box shadow by making this less wide? Maybe not. No, probably not, because I don't think we can get this shape. But so the idea that I had, I'm kind of all over the place here. Sorry about that. Var dash dash M. I'm still thinking about how to do that curve because it is a complicated curve. It doesn't seem like a complicated curve, but it is a complicated curve. One thing we can do is do a clip path polygon, and we could do it as, you know, it's kind of a triangle. 50%, 0, 1%, 100%, 0, 100%. Right, so there's a clip path. And if we add more points, 25%, 20%, 50%, oh, actually, that would be, that's in the wrong order. Ha ha ha. So because we're starting in the middle, what we actually want is 75%, 20%. And then 25%, 20%. Oh, or even worse, that would be here. So by creating each of those interim points, we can create more precision. And if we do it right, we could do, between those points, we could do curves. So let's, using the new shape technique. Now, I'm not sure if Chromium on the back end supports this. From, and that's curve to width, and then we use this guy here, and then line to 0. I think this is the syntax, and then curve to 50% 0 width. And that kind of does it. If I change this vertical, 10, 0, -5, and then do the same thing with this one, -5%. So you can kind of see that working, sort of. And I think we also see that this is not tall enough. The third one is not tall enough. So let's make that 160. It's close though, right? Let's submit that and see what we get. (99.8%), not nearly good enough. So what are we missing? Is this margin not right? We got margins is not right. How about 81? That works. 82, 83, 84, 83. All of that pretty big hassle. Now, all right, so let's not do that. I'm going to set this to be transparent. And then on the body, I'm going to create a circle, because I happen to know that radial gradient thinking. Radial gradient, it's a big circle. Circle at, no, circle, comma, this color. So it's a big circle. And if I move him, so he's at 50%, and then no repeat. What I want to do, the reason that I'm doing this is I would like to figure out what's the radius of this circle. Because if I do that, then I can place that inside that paragraph element. And it's a big circle. Right, you can see the kind of the arc of that. And we want to align with that. So let's make it 200 and then move it down to, oh, and the problem with a 200 200 pixel radius circle is that it's bigger than the body, and so it doesn't fit. So you have to make a background that's actually larger. So let's do 400 pixels by 400 pixels. And there it is. 1, 2, 6, 7, 75. So now we're too big. So it's not 200. Let's try 180. And then again, move 5. Still too big. How about 170? 14. Still too big. 160. 30. 30. 31, 32. So you can see the diff on that is still too big. How about 150? And 1 and 2. There it is. So now let's use that knowledge. We're going to put this background back on here, and now we're going to put this background, we're going to put it into this element. So we're going to nuke the clip path, and the background, we're going to override the background. Background is this. And we can't see anything. Why can't we see anything? This background position is just wrong. Right. Well, let's do red and make sure so we're in the right place. So we want, so this border radius is no good. We just want to do a 0 out. Okay, so let's put that there. We don't see anything. Why? Because the position is wrong. How about 0, 0? So that's kind of cool. We can see that position. So that's interesting too. Like we can see that circle. If I do red, there it is. Okay, cool. I think we're in the ballpark. 1, minus 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. There we go. All right, now we're going to take off that background color and let's see what we got. Let's submit that and see if we're at 100%. So is this a weird way to do it? Yes, it is. It is quite complicated, but it's at 99.9% match. And why? I kind of want to make this 0 and 0. So now you're going to see this is the size of the image, size of the paragraph element that we're working on. But I happen to know that there's problems happening in the diff here because this edge is slightly wrong. And the way I solved it, if I remember right, was by doing a circle at some value, by doing half of it with one circle and half on the other. It's 2 gradients. Now I did that on the body before, but here I'm doing it on a smaller element, and so it's a little bit on the tricky side. So let's do red as a background, and then we're gonna do at. Right now it's 50%, 50%, and so that's identical. I want to do half of that circle. So if I do it at 0, 50%, then I get that. So now I'm going to move that over using this number. So right now we'll do 0, 50%, 50, 60, 70. This is definitely a weird way to do it. I had some success doing it before, so I'm hopeful. If I'm not able to do it, then I'm going to reach into my bag of tricks and show you the way that I did it before. This is a different way that I'm doing it. Okay, so that's half of it. So now I'm going to do the other half. Ready? I'm not sure I'm ready. Regardless, so comma between, and this one is at 100% 0. And we don't see anything. That's very disappointing. No, so minus 50 pixels might be correct, but oh, so this vertical is the wrong one, so 0. There it is. Look at it. Oh, I love it. Minus 100 pixels. 2, 2, 05. 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's submit that. So we're just slightly offset. I'm hoping we get to 100%. About 209. 7. Let's try that one. That's 100% match. So is that weird? Yes. There's an asymmetry that's happening. I'm very glad that I got back to it. This is a very extraordinarily circuitous way to create this. I'm going to create this background as this. Yes, and that's still the same. I'm going to delete some more code here. Oh, whoops. I got a trailing semicolon. Remove a little more code. A lot of variables. Complicated shapes. Very interesting problem set here. I'm going to do a unit replace and then a final submission. And that's how we do this one. Very complicated shape. I'm happy to have gotten to 100% on it, and hope you enjoyed watching me whatever it is I just did. Crazy stuff with gradients. Creating a gradient that's larger, has a larger intrinsic size than the element that it's on, I think is sort of one big technique to create interesting curves on, in your designs, and not something that people think about very much, right? But super fun. Anyway, hope you're having a great day. Go make a web page. I'm just reminded how tough it is out there for everybody, but do your best and make a web page and send it to your friends. Everybody's got web browsers. It's pretty cool. All right, bye-bye.